Oh, hello, patrons. How's it going? How's everybody doing?
This should be called Patri.
Patri?
Patris. Our Patris.
I was trying to coin the phrase during the convention, the Iconiconners, but it didn't catch on.
Oh, that's a good one, too.
Yeah.
Connor McLeod. Iconic Connor McLeod.
Yes. But there can be only one.
Yeah, well, that's a self-limiting crowd of people.
Actually, I think that's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Wait, what does that mean, Tim?
Michael, you got to come over here.
Yeah, I don't know what Michael's hiding from.
He's being
Michael, what you hiding from? Don't be afraid of us.
Where you going to? So when Matt gets over here, he's gonna have to tell you guys the Mike Falzone story, so Aaron's screen name makes sense.
Yeah.
I know, I forgot to change
Boy,
it.
we're really packed in here like sardines.
We are. Well, we're
And there's an empty chair where I normally sit.
Yeah,
Not for long.
Matt's
That's
gonna
Matt's
sit there
chair.
for tonight, but
Oh, it's
Oh.
Matt's chair now. 'Cause
Oh,
I've
we
been
need
sitting
to
in
get
Jupiter.
Matt a pair of headphones.
He's got some.
he's got
Okay,
these.
okay. I just thought they were hurting his
Look.
ears.
Look, we can.
Well, they do.
That's
but
all we-
You know.
That's what I go through for art.
Okay, who do we got here? We've got Mike Falzone. We've got Lio Convoy. What's going on, man?
Life is maddening. Iconicon was fun, and I'll have to go back and watch some of these panels because I was dealing with nonsense. But, interesting experience overall.
I'm sorry you were dealing with nonsense, man. I know how that can affect stuff.
Yes.
Hello, people.
We have Ed. What's going on, man?
All good here. Just
Good.
2 a.m, but everything's doing fine. I didn't want Iconicon to end, honestly.
We got
Hello
Dean
there.
from All Things 80s.
Hi, Dean.
Hello, Dean.
I apologize for being late.
No.
I may not be able to stay long because we have a barbecue going on.
Yeah.
Well, lucky you.
Well,
nice. Good.
Lucky me, yes. But whilst I'm here, I want to say a couple of things. First of
Okay.
all, thank you to Melinda and Tony and Sal for putting this whole thing on.
Absolutely.
It's been absolutely incredible. And I never thought I would be part of such an amazing community. So for welcome me into this, I am so grateful, and I've really enjoyed being part of this. So thank you so much.
Well,
I
Dean-
keep telling you, Dean, you're from the UK. You have an instant advantage with me. All right. It's like,
Well, that's
Okay.
true, but I mean, Dean, you really did knock it out of the park. I really enjoyed all of your content a lot. And
Yes.
I feel like you
Really?
added a lot. To,
yes.
yeah, like you added a lot to the.
The Argo Toy Catalogs panel
That
was
was-
one of the best live streams I've ever seen.
Spectacular.
Michael,
Yeah.
if I may, please don't call it Argo.
What?
What is it?
What is it?
It's Argos.
Argos.
Oh, sorry, I left off.
No,
I thought,
I'm
I
being
thought that.
facetious. No, I'm serious. No, honestly, this was an absolute blast. And just to think that maybe 2 years ago, I began making some stupid videos about my love of the 80s, and it grew into this is just mind-blowing. And to be part of this community with so many amazing people just completely blew my mind. So again, thank you so much.
It's because the establishment's not going to protect us. We're going to protect each other. That's the
Right.
way it's going to work.
That's,
Yeah.
I really do feel like, a lot of us put out great content, but the YouTube and other systems algorithms just.
There's a very handsome man that's come into the chat.
I know. I'm going to get to him in
He's
just a second.
Very handsome.
I know. Just
Very
calm
handsome.
down. It's okay. But no, I don't think that the algorithm always helps us out. So we have to kind of pool our resources and help
Yeah.
each other out because, like I said earlier on the costumes panel, sisters are doing it for themselves. We just got to all get together and share our subscribers and go, hey, not only should you love us, but you should love all these other. It's kind of like fans are doing the best work and we're the fans and we're doing all this work. So yeah,
Girl.
Michael, you said the handsome man show. I mean, Tony's been here before you got here. So.
I know. I don't even know.
First of
What
all,
I mean, he's getting an action figure made out of him.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't
It's like,
see Tony, I don't see Tony in this chat. I know that's Desert Rat, but that's Desert Rat. Can you tell me when Tony will be here?
Tony no longer exists. I am now just a random action figure who has, for some strange reason, had about 150 random Facebook friend requests in the last 24 hours.
Oh, I imagine so.
nice.
You'll probably need to talk to Steve down there to find out what it's like to be a living action figure.
Yeah. So, hi, Steve. How's it going? What you got there?
Muesli, yogurt,
Nice.
craisins,
Nice.
breakfast of champions.
Breakfast
I
of
hear someone is having a barbecue. Damn it.
Dean is, yeah.
Dean is.
Oh yeah.
Excellent. Bottoms up, buddy.
Now, I'm not meaning to boast here, but I think I've gone something like 18 cans into a 24 pack.
Wow.
It is absolutely obscene, and I should not be doing that. However, I did think I deserved it because whilst I wasn't the most engaged in Iconicon, Thursday was a massive strain on my resources.
Oh my God, I know it was. And you handled it like a champ, I gotta say.
And you know, I tell you what, I am so relieved because I was so stressed. Like
I know.
to the point where I didn't sleep the night before, thinking of what could go wrong. And in the end, it went so smoothly, and I am so thankful. And I'm glad everyone seemed to enjoy it. So thank you so much.
That toy catalog live stream.
Yeah.
It had me so captivated because the visuals were so good, the conversation was so good, that I almost forgot that I was supposed to be populating links for the next thing and then getting ready for the next thing. I was like, oh, that was the live stream that taught me the hard lesson of you'll have to watch all this later. Like, you know, like get there, watch 10 minutes, you know. So well done, done.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll tell you what, though. What could be better looking at an old catalog with Tony and Dave from Toy Polloi? It doesn't get any better than that.
I think that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and if Tony breaks, Dave can fix him.
And Dean, you being like 18 cans into a 24 pack at the closing ceremony is a nice bookend, because I was about 18 cans deep at the opening ceremony.
Yeah. That was the funniest part. On my first stream, I'm on the coffee and Tony's on the beers. And in the same day, I was on the beers and Tony was on the coffee the following morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice role reversal there.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, so I just wanted to give a few shout outs in the chat. So we've got Zantara. This was such a wonderful thing. We've got Wilson saying, Jody, just wanted to let you know I just got off the phone with my bank and the issue is resolved. And thanks for the super chat. So remember, we had like the super chat issue where, you know, Jody couldn't even give any more super chats. So, I mean,
it's hard to say that you break Google.
You guys are so generous. You patrons and the other folks who are watching, like the charity stuff was just really just very heartwarming. It's mind-blowing. It's so great. Master Son says they could charge me $50 for Iconicon 2022 and I would pay it with a smile.
Well, that's good, because that's what we're going to be charging for this year.
There you go.
I'm going to have to renegotiate my contract next year. Let me just go ahead and throw that out there.
A World Made of Cardboard says, I cannot think of any other channels that could pull this off, retro blasting and analog toys. This is incredible. But I have to also say all of the channels, all these people who you see on the screen here, really, you know, we did a lot of the organizing, which is super important. You can't really get the event off the ground unless you promote it and organize it and make it clear for people to find stuff. But the content also needs to be good, and that's at least 50% of it. And you guys really, you did the heavy lifting on that end. So
I mean, everybody here was already friends of ours, even if we hadn't worked together before, and we knew you all because of your standout work. Like, we knew Joe Berg for all the great podcasts I've listened to over the years. And then, of course, I was becoming familiar with your amazing toy videos, which you just did another one just for Iconicon with the Tomahawk, which I was getting comments back because I was making sure that I populated each next video, regardless of channel, on the RB portals. And I had a really good friend who's been a follower of my channel for a long time. Excuse me, Pep RC. And I don't know if that's the same as a muesli burp, but I would assume so.
It's not the same as being 18 into a 24 pack, but you know.
And he came back and he told me how in a comment he was like, "I just watched the Joburg Tomahawk video," and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's really good, isn't it?" And he said the production quality is incredible. He's like, "I can't believe I've never seen these guys before." And I'm like, I mean, they're really
I'm
good.
glad we give the impression of incredible production quality because this is my camera right here.
Well, but
we're as bare bones as they come. But
yeah.
A great sunset will cover a great many sins. Let me tell you.
The style.
Take your toys outside.
Yeah, but you're doing a style of video with the toys in close up that you still do the shots in cinematic fashion. So, and then the great narration and the sunsets and all that stuff. You got nobody can shake a stick at you on that one. And then I saw Ed, your TMNT live stream where you guys were talking about the early days of the toys.
Yeah,
really good discussion there.
Yeah,
good stuff.
People love that.
I even enjoyed that one. I mean, the other guys that were on the panel knew so much about it. So it was a revelation for me as well.
Yeah. But
thanks again for putting all this together and bringing all these awesome channels under one roof.
Absolutely. Sorry, Tony, go ahead.
I was just going to say the fact that Alex was born the same year as me, I'm actually a little bit concerned at his level, his depth of knowledge into TMNT.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing what'll happen when something captures you at any age. You know?
That actually reminds me real quick. The way I got introduced to Ed's Retro Geek Out is first video I saw his was the one about rad plastic. And because of that, I was able to get a copy of the book, and the next day they were completely sold out.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So if I'd never seen his video, I wouldn't have that book. And that book is really well produced. It's really cool. Like, I hope they do a second printing so other people can get it.
They're actually doing it. There's a Kickstarter for the next printing right now. I'll be talking to Chris somewhere next week. So
cool. Wilson Tortosa says, I'd like to thank all the moderators like Scuba Pete for a job well done.
Yeah, yes. Scuba Pete, Michael Schaefer, Tim Ward. I know there were others.
Brendan, Tim's son, Brendan.
Oh, yeah.
Brendan who? Oh, your son, Brendan. Right.
Who? He only stayed in our house for a week.
He only saw him grow up from a child to an adult.
I didn't mean who.
It's been a long week, y'all.
I didn't mean I didn't know who a Brendan was. There are multiple Brendans, and I thought she said a last name that I didn't hear. So I was like, which last name did she just say?
Nice, nice save.
Also, thank you, April, for also moderating.
Yes. Thank you, April, for moderating, for running all of our scoreboards during our super fun game show challenges, where momentarily we will be officially giving the trophy to Tony. And
not to Tony.
I'm sorry. I was looking at Tony.
Wow, that was a Freudian slip.
Sorry.
I mean, we are just determined not to give it to Matt.
See, I have exposed the conspiracy.
She wants to give it to Tony.
I do kind of want to give it to Tony, but not because I don't love you, Matt.
I'm the punching bag of Iconicon.
I guess I really wanted to see this guy like fly through and go to Australia. Like I just, but anyway, yeah. So I don't remember what I was saying, but
you know what we should have done is we should have had two of those made. And you go, and Tony, and you take it down, and Tony picks his up, and then everybody be like, I knew he wasn't in Australia.
That's actually
no one's in Australia. They're all imaginary people in Michael's head.
That's true.
Sky Highway Vintage Toy says, best 5 days of the year. Only side effect is that I want a Boglin now.
Yep.
That'll happen.
That'll happen. I'll be pre-ordering mine from Big Bad Toy Store very soon.
Keith Knight says, can I be really after the watershed here and say this Iconicon has been effing awesome, unique and effing awesome. And I would say the words, but I just don't know who all's here. And sometimes on the after show, I say the words.
Yeah.
If any of you have ever
I don't
talked
think
to
my
me
ears could
directly, you
handle it.
know that I have no shyness in saying the words. But anyway, let's see. Gloop Trekker says Iconicon was great, but finding a parking spot was murder.
Did that say Tom? Is Tom with us?
Yeah, Tom.
Awesome.
Ryan says thank you all to all the presenters and
Yeah.
a big thank you to Melinda and Tony. Thank you, Ryan, for watching. Tom, are you with us? Can we hear you?
I am here. Can you guys hear me? Sorry.
We can.
I don't know if I got the
No.
greatest connection right now.
No, you're fine.
Sorry about
I
that.
I was just talking about what a great job everybody did. You of course on the Ninja Turtles live stream. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah. Let's see. Your Muslim uncle says thank you to everyone here. Gen X Toys Geek says, was that Magnum PI just walking past the cam?
That was me. Yeah.
No, that was Dale, and this was Chip.
That's right.
So
yeah, I feel like I've seen a lot of responses in the messages and in the chat and stuff like that, with people just sort of commenting on how great it is to sort of discover a whole lot of new different channels that they now really, really like, which is exactly what we were going for with this whole thing. Because I don't know, sometimes you can sort of say, hey, you should go check these people out. But if you like actually bring them on your show and expose people to them, and make them sit down and watch it, it's like, oh yeah, this actually is really good. I really should go check it out. So I think that I hope that you guys will see, new subscribers and new people showing up on your feeds. That's what
It's already happened, Melinda.
Has it?
Oh, absolutely. So, I mean, massive props to you guys. Like, whether it was one of the overriding goals at the outset or if it became very organically, like something. Well, we felt it big time.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think I speak for everyone here. Yeah.
That's great.
That was one of the things that was really important to me, because like when Tony and Melinda were planning it, I'm not going to take all the credit for, obviously Tony and Melinda get all the credit for Iconicon, but when I knew that we were going into it, my first goal with all of this was, no matter what happens, even if this whole thing is just kind of like a bunch of videos that get normal traffic for us over a 4-day period, I want to know that the smaller channels that have always been friends with us and deserve bigger audiences got bigger audiences, that they got increased awareness. That was the one thing. It was like, if nothing else happens, I want that to happen. So I've been asking throughout, after certain streams and stuff, hey, are you guys seeing a bump? Hey, are you guys seeing a boost? And so far it's been consistently yes. So I'm really glad to hear that. Really, really glad.
And I'm pretty sure the effects will be felt for weeks to come as well.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I think for us, I'm hoping that we also, of course, benefit in some ways. And I think we will, even if it's just like we've learned a lot just about all kinds of things. Like we've sort of changed some of our studio layout, some of our sound stuff. It's forced us to solve problems that we were sort of, pushing off for the future. So, I mean, we're definitely also getting some great benefits from having done this, even though it wasn't always the easiest process. But I think it's great to be able to collaborate with other people, because I've learned, like, this is a dumb thing to learn, but like, I literally didn't even know that that hashtags in the description of a YouTube video was a thing. Which I know that makes me like, where have you been? But like now I know that. So it's like I learned that because of you guys.
I wanted to say one thing real quick. I got this message from Conrad at Movie Oubliette. I'm going to bring it up to the camera here to show you.
Send it to me and I'll pop it in the thing and I'll actually.
Well, I don't want to share it with.
Technology.
It's top secret.
Well, no, I guess I can share it with everybody. It's good news. But
Michael, you're very important. We don't want to step on your
channel's
secrecy.
stats. So
it's not stats. It's a very general. It's a very general thing. So I'll just forward
send
it to you.
Me and I'll show you, because I think it's kind of it's kind of what we were looking for, right? So send it to me on Facebook.
Okay, I'm sending it to you on Facebook. Doing it right now.
Technology, you guys.
Sending
this is
it
another
to-
thing is I've gotten real fast with like downloading a picture really quick and uploading it.
Okay, there we go. So I've sent it to you on your Facebook.
Great.
Just while Melinda's doing that, when I first emailed Retro Blasting about Iconicon, I'd actually I came up with the name while I was sitting on the toilet, if anyone didn't know that story. But
I love that.
When I first emailed them about this, it's because Melinda had been talking about some kind of a convention in a couple of Patreon after shows. And I'm pretty sure one of the things I wrote in that very first email was about getting all of these channels that we all like and we're friends with, and helping give them that sort of leg up that some other channels did for me in my early days. You know, Retro Blasting has given me massive support over the years. So has Toy Polloi, and I just felt like it's time to do the same for the other channels that I enjoy watching, like, you know, All Things 80s, Ed's Retro Geek Out, 2 Cents Toys, Joe Berg, all of these people. But the greatest revelation for me of Iconicon is, I think the only thing I'm going to listen to on my AirPods when I'm driving in the future is Conrad's voice from Movie Oubliette.
Right.
Yeah,
I have fallen in love with that man's voice.
But I gotta tell you, there is another podcast on parody with that, and that's G.I. Joe Berg.
That's true.
I mean, you want to talk about dueling accents, but yet no less seafood. Yeah, right. So
Tony, it occurs to me, man, that once your action figure becomes available, people can make up dioramas of you thinking of Iconicon. So I don't know if you want to put that story out into the public consciousness.
So I'm actually more concerned. Bobby said he's going to send one to Michael Mercy, and I was like, oh, he's going to turn me into a voodoo doll.
You don't believe in that nonsense, do you? I mean, I know he does, but
what's that, Dean?
Can I pose a question? Who has the worst accent? Tony's Australian accent or my American accent?
Have I ever heard you do an American accent?
I was fixing to say.
He's joking. He's saying that his basic accent is a bad American accent.
No, I'm serious, because all my family in Scotland say that I sound American. I don't believe
what?
Wow.
No. You don't, and you don't in the best way possible.
Right.
However, if I was to talk to you guys in a total Scottish accent, you would ken that I was doing you a Scottish accent. But right now, I talk to you in a pretty decent English accent. Ken what I mean?
Yeah, ken what you mean.
Yeah.
Therefore,
but you know,
I think my accent is somewhat in between the Atlantic.
I see what you're saying, because I've watched a few Scottish television shows, and so the thicker Scottish accent is like, for the American ear, it takes a minute to kind of go,
yeah, it does.
Okay, now I see what they're doing with like these inflections and like these certain vowel sounds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, it takes a minute to learn that, for sure.
Hard to
For us Americans, we're not the most, as Ridley Scott made it clear, we're not the most cultured folks. So
reference back to the Legend video.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
Thanks, Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
It's not
Bringing
wrong,
it back to
though.
Conrad.
I mean,
That's good. That's good.
Speaking of Conrad, we got to show that graphic real quick.
okay, so now I'm going to show this graphic. So, Michael, do you want to sort of?
Okay, so Conrad sent me this, and it's showing what he calls the Iconicon effect, where his peak views were on a release day, and then Iconicon starts, and then his next show has a lot more views. So I'm really hoping that, like Steve was saying, that everybody starts to feel a positive effect on their channel stats from everything that we've done, meaning all of us have done collectively, not just like we, but like everybody.
Well, yeah, because it makes all of your work worthwhile, and it makes all of my work
Do you mean
worthwhile.
the royal we?
Well, I mean,
yeah. So Tom says he will be on his PC in a couple of minutes, so he'll be able to chat a little more easily.
Okay.
So no worries, man. No worries. So Ryan Potter says, Iconicon was an absolute joy. I've had so much fun. I've only been able to watch about half the panels due to work and family, but I'll be enjoying the other half very soon. Thanks to everyone involved. So yeah, I mean, that's the other thing, is that, hopefully, because there was so much content coming out all at the same time, I wasn't sure if that was a good or bad thing, but I think that, like someone said a minute ago, we'll continue to see growth. I think it was you, Steve. We'll continue to see that growth over the next couple of weeks as people continue to sort of go, I really want to watch this, but I didn't have time, so I'm just going to keep it in my playlist and watch it later on. So, you may, hopefully, we'll still all see those views coming in later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the panels that I'm so looking forward to going back and watching, because it was the middle of the night here, is the Bond stream, because I need me some more.
So good.
I need more Matthew Kearns.
Oh yeah. He and Dante were on fire on that channel, on that stream. Yeah.
It was really good. That was one of my favorites. And one of my other favorites was the Toy Trinity, Tony, with you and Dave and Michael. That was just so fun to hear the three of you sort of sharing war stories of, running a toy channel on YouTube and, the ins and outs of all that. It was really fun to listen to.
I think that's probably the best benefit of YouTube is being able to relive Matt and I getting crushed by Steve and Tony in the G.I. Joe comics debate. I mean, I can't wait to revisit that. Just.
Well, I gave you the opportunity to propose the topic, Matt, but you decided to kick the ball over to the opposition anyway. So
I even prefaced that by saying that your original idea was a great one.
The thing is, because he knew that debate was not going to have any effect on getting him to the trivia showdown, he just gave us a free kick.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. No, you guys definitely had the home court advantage on that one, but I think we
I hadn't realized how big that advantage was. Like, I honestly thought we had the underdog side because my sort of more like critically minded friends were turning to me and saying like, "You idiot, Stephen. The latter half is the better half." Yeah, maybe I've made a big mistake, but whatever. People can't get around the classics, I suppose. Coming back to the Toy Trinity chat, I felt like you guys were always kind of teetering on the brink of maybe saying something controversial, like really controversial, but like, nah, let's check the politics at the door.
I'm happy to say something controversial if you want me to. Happy to do it right now.
He does it all the time.
Yeah. I brought popcorn, didn't you know? Who's eating popcorn? That's how I roll.
Well, okay. Give me an area from that discussion that you might just remember off the top of your head where you felt like, I want to hear more about this that could stray into controversial, and I'll just take one for the team.
Okay. This is going off something that Tony said. Did Toy Galaxy get an invite to Iconicon?
Tony, would you like to answer that?
Did I just pull the pin?
The most evil laugh I've heard.
So I'm going to tell you what I've already told my patrons. All right. So this is not. I don't have a problem saying this. And the reason I don't have a problem saying this is because Pixel Dan, I don't have a problem with, and there's no but in that statement, told me this in person. Now, Pixel Dan wasn't saying anything negative about Dan Larson or Toy Galaxy, but he revealed something that I'd always suspected. Ready for it? I don't want you to spit muesli everywhere. You ready for it? Okay. So here we go. He told me that when he was at New York Toy Fair, Dan Larson was with him in that team-up video, right? And they were talking between takes or whatever, and between shots. And they were just talking shop, like we're talking shop about YouTube and stuff. And Dan looked at him and said at one point in the conversation, he was like, yeah, my producer and I, we modeled our whole channel by watching like 300 hours of your channel and retroblasting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well,
yeah.
So going back to what we were saying earlier about the number one goal for me, Michael, Melinda, with Iconicon was to give our authentic friends in the community a step up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
Toy Galaxy didn't need a step up from any of us, and
fair enough. Clearly.
No, I don't. And I mean, like Midnight's Edge didn't need a step up from us either, but I mean, they are, they sort of live on this other spot, and they were very happy to. I know Tom dropped off for the moment.
No,
but
he's right there now.
Is he? Oh, sorry. I was just talking about you, Tom. Sorry. I was saying that. I mean, you guys are a big channel. You're bigger than we are. So you didn't really need our help or anything, but you were excited about being involved and willing to sort of add into the thing, and so that's just helpful for everybody because it's sort of that sending that messaging out, and again, cross pollination. So
well, that's the difference. Like Midnight's Edge, Andre and Tom have always been super helpful with us. Like they like having friends. They're not interested in how big your audience is,
right?
And they have always shown us immense friendship. And Andre has always been very enthusiastic about bringing me on his show more often than I can even accommodate. I feel bad when I have to beg off sometimes because I just can't make the schedule. But
yeah, we'd keep you if we could.
I appreciate that, Tom. I truly do. And also, Andre came to that Sword and Sorcery panel loaded for bear. I mean, he had all of his research done. He had all of the visuals and everything. So, I mean, yeah, that's a different kind of animal right there, you know? I know what good friends they are as far as in the social media space. And so, yeah, they were there to help everybody else. So, yeah.
Oh, we had a lot of fun, and we're glad to just be a part of it. I know Andre had a blast doing that, and you know, if we could have went 4 more hours, we would have on that. Right. Same thing when you get me talking Ninja Turtles and stuff. So, and I was just so surprised how many people were involved that I didn't even realize until we got going, and it was just awesome to meet like Ed and all the other guys that I got to meet during this whole thing, and of course, just doing this with you guys at Retro Blasting, it's been a blast. Not to be punny, but it really truly has.
Well, one of the things I really appreciate from everybody is how malleable you all were in the scheduling process. As far as like nobody that I'm aware of from what Melinda and Tony were telling me were like, well, I don't get to be on a panel on this channel or that channel. It was just everybody was into trying to do the best job they could with the subjects. It was the subjects and the topics, not the channels. And I think that really goes miles. I think that really helps.
Oh yeah, I mean, you and I had a conversation where I'm like, I wish I would have signed up for more because everything was going on, and it was like there's just so many great things you guys were talking about, and so many great topics, and the great interviews and everything. Like from day one on, I was trying to tune in as much as I could because it was so much fun, and I can't wait to go back and check out the things I happen to miss. I know you guys were just talking about that too, about how people will discover it over time. I think it was really successful, and I hope you guys managed to pull off more of these. I know probably you're about ready to crash and burn, but
I'm tired, but I'm not like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. I'm just
that's good.
Tired. I gotta say, like every morning when I wake up at like whatever time I have to get up that morning, I'm just like, really?
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't believe. Like I remember thinking, like on day 3 when I woke up, going, God, it feels like I've been doing this for 2 weeks.
Tim looked at us at 11:45 today, and he goes, I mean, if you don't need me, I'll go home.
And I was like, no, you can't go home.
I was like, wait a minute, we haven't even done the last Starfighter panel yet. I bet she's like, I'll just watch it from my chest on the couch.
Y'all needed to go raise a ruckus at Wendy's. I know what y'all needed.
Oh, jeez.
You don't even know. You just don't know.
I'm sitting here trying to imagine it. I have physical anxiety and
anticipation. It's killing Aaron to not know what's
Tony. Tony. Sorry, Desert Rat.
Hi.
Tim went to Wendy's today for lunch, and many things happened.
I mean, it was amazing.
It was a saga.
Together.
It was the last hurrah of all the hijinks.
Just today's been the bad day. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. I thought today was a great day.
Well, I mean, for this was great.
See, so it was worth keeping you here.
But look at what happened to the thing and the.
Oh, you mean I wanged the case?
Yeah,
that was bad.
That was not good.
Don't do any wanging in the. No wanging.
It's a quote. It's a quote from Futurama where Fry says, "I wanged my head." I happened to. I didn't realize right before we started the Sal. It was Sal's stream.
What's up?
And Hello.
Hi.
Oh, Dante! Surprise, Dante! You're on the air.
It was right before I started we were starting the toy repair stream, and I realized we had just gotten started that the computer in there had its volume up and YouTube was on, and it was feedbacking, and I was like, oh crap. And so when I jumped up to turn it off, I had to run between this table, and I clipped the side of the
one of his cases.
Literally knocked over
I knocked over
every action, almost every action figure.
Leader
case.
1 took a dive off the command center and fell 4 stories into a whole group of GoBots.
I gotta tell you, those Ghostbusters with their proton pack streams sticking up fell over, and it was a real scary moment. I was like, oh my God.
He even took Rambo out. I mean, Rambo's
and
down.
Those Ghostbusters are my childhood originals. So anyway, enough toy talk.
Real quick, April says, oh my God, can Tony's action figure have that laugh? That would be great with a pull string. Definitely go for that.
Dante, how are you doing, man?
Oh, good. I just came in to say it was a wonderful weekend, and thank you for inviting us.
Yeah,
yeah, man.
Thanks for being a part of it, Dante. You were
look. I understand.
Loads of people were highlights, but yeah.
I'm not a highlight. Look, everybody came for Laser Pants. Everybody came for Alex. Everybody came for Bobby. They didn't come to see me.
That's
I'm
not
just
true at all.
I'm an afterthought. It's just no. Look.
No, Dante. I was screaming at the TV when you were on the Bond panel, and I was like, "Next year, I will be on that panel." That's all.
He wants to be on that panel with you to support your side.
He was on your side.
Yes, for everything because you're just right. So
I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm always right.
You were right on that panel according to Tim, though.
Yep, and guess whose opinion matters.
I appreciate that.
I'll jump on there and support Conrad. It's okay.
But it was great. I appreciate it. It was so much fun. Hopefully next year we'll get to do it again.
Can we go around and each person sort of say like what your favorite panel that you've been able to catch so far has been?
Okay, it's not a panel we were part of, but a panel we watched.
I mean, if you want to be that guy that votes for yourself publicly, then go ahead.
Well, you know,
well, it'll just tell us all a lot about you. But I'm just
Michael is a very handsome and charming man. So
we already know this about Michael. It's fine. So Michael, you're free to say it. It's okay.
Tony, you go first.
Well, I've got a couple of highlights for Iconicon. So from the pre-produced content, hands down, it was the movie Oubliette and Melinda Legend video. I've watched, and I had never even seen Legend before. I rented it on YouTube the day before so I could get myself up to speed. I've never seen Legend in my whole life. So
yeah.
But panel wise, I stayed up very late and really enjoyed the one on Edge Retro Geek Out about the first 2 years of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That was very interesting. But I think the game show finals from yesterday probably topped the whole thing for me.
Yeah.
The one downside to the whole convention is I'm still upset that Bella's toy chest turned down our invite.
I don't think she needs her
Look, I would have been if that was there. I would have been for every panel. Don't tell my fiance that.
Dante, if that was true and she had got an invite and accepted, my wife wouldn't have let me be a part of Iconicon.
Ed, what about you? What was your favorite panel you've seen?
My favorite panels were well, I really liked the interview Tony did with the Palatoy designer.
Yeah, Bob Breakin.
Same thing goes for the interview with Tim Clark. I think like whenever you do something like that, it's really just preserving toy history, and it's amazing that we now have access to these interviews. Apart from that, stuff that's just really 80s to me, the Sword and Sorcery panel and the James Bond one. So those are amazing. To me, this was also a really cool insight into like sort of I want to say like a workshop on how YouTube can be done, and getting pumped up by all these other content creators, and definitely feeling the pressure on doing like a good panel, or at least bringing the quality. And I think we all definitely did. These are going to be some fun videos to look back to.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to rewatching some of these and watching the rest of a lot of them that I didn't get to fully catch. Plus, I really do want to see, like, even though I know I was in some of these panels, like we all were, so I want to go watch the ones I wasn't in first, but I do want to rewatch that conceptual pratfall of how Matt and I lost that G.I. Joe comics debate. Like, I want to see the moment where it broke. Like,
There are no losers. Come on, Mike. Winners. Well, comic fans. For my part, since I have the microphone. Oh, sorry, Melinda, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, I just wanted to steal it from anyone else who might have mentioned it, but the military influences on toys at around the 1 hour, 15-minute mark is pretty tough to beat.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Don't make me blush.
that panel definitely had some magic. And
Yeah.
shout outs to Bobby Vella for keeping that one close to the chest and picking
Yes,
his
sir.
moment with perfection.
Yeah, he did a great job with that. That was perfect.
Yeah.
I'm aware of two people he tried to tell. One person said, "I don't want to know," and that was Noble. That was Sal. The other person said, "Yeah, I want to know." And then he told me, and I went, "Cool." And he goes, "You can keep a secret, right?" And I went, "Hell yes, I can." And I didn't tell anyone.
He didn't even tell me.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
By the way, we're gonna have a discussion about that later.
All right, well, you know what? I'm ready for my beating. All right, I'm ready.
I will tell you this about Michael. You can tell him things even that he's supposed to tell me. And he ain't going to tell me. So let me just tell you, if you need something to be coordinated, planned, scheduled, put on the books in any way, or if you just want me to know something, you just have to friend me and tell me directly.
Or tell me.
Right here, or tell Tim. This one does not pass messages. He doesn't even think about it. His mother has literally said, like, well, did Michael tell you? He told you about that thing. This will be like months later. I'm like, no. Someone in the family can die. He just doesn't mention it.
That's not true.
In Michael's defense, Melinda, didn't you lie to him about a certain Kylie autograph?
Yes. Yeah. And I do it again.
and I'll say this. I'll say this in Michael's defense as well. He made sure I made sure I found him because he said he would get in trouble. He's like, Joe Fest. He's like, I'll get in trouble if Melinda doesn't talk to you guys. I will be in trouble. So I got to talk to you. So I have to let Melinda talk to you guys. And Joe Fest.
Yeah, I mean, because I made it very clear to him that I was mad that I couldn't go to Joe Fest. And I was like, well, I want to talk to the Infinity Equation guys, and I'm bummed, and you get to go, and I have to stay home and take care of the cats. And
well, let's tell that story accurately.
No,
you said Infinity Equation once or twice, and then you kept saying Dante. I want to talk to Dante. I want to talk to Dante. I want to talk to Dante.
Well,
and
everybody else is more interested in me.
And Clement.
Hey, Lio Convoy, what's been your most interesting takeaway from this one of the ones that you didn't host or stream?
Well, I mean, personally, I'm not going to ever say it's anything I hosted or streamed because my production quality is absolute dog crap. But more importantly, there's something that I still have to catch up on because, again, as much as I wanted to, most of the con has happened while I was at work, so I couldn't tune in. But the ones that I really enjoyed, of course, I enjoyed the live stream about the first few years of TMNT. I enjoyed all of Ed's stuff, honestly. I enjoyed the triumvirate, which is the word, by the way, of you and Analog Toys and Toy Polloi. That was really fun to just sit and listen to. But I also enjoyed your Bionic 6 Part 1 review, despite some of the grief I'm sure you're going to get.
Don't tell Master Son that. Don't tell Master Son that.
Well, it's all right. It's all right. I've already earned his ire by saying I'd set the whale on fire. So that ship has sailed. But I also enjoyed all of Sal's stuff. I still need to catch up on some things, obviously, but those are some of the standouts. But one thing I also really, really enjoyed from a technical standpoint, because I've never in my life watched Legend. To this day, the only thing I know about Legend is that like part of the audio was taken and added to like some loaf puppet, and it became a viral video, and I still get a laugh at it every time I see it. But I know enough about animation to know that Movie Oubliette's puppets on screen are tweened, and for a lower subscription channel that's not as well known, that's high production quality. That took a lot of freaking work. I know tweening gets a lot of grief within people who are animation aficionados because it simplifies the process to a higher degree, but that's still a lot of work. He had to make the puppets, he had to rig them. That is insane. So I sat and I watched that entire thing knowing absolutely nothing about the property going forward. So yeah, needless to say, that's definitely one of my standout favorites.
Well, I appreciate that, and I just have to give a shout out to a little bit more information about that. So for those of you who haven't seen the movie, the American version has a Tangerine Dream score, and Conrad and Dan are both composers, and they literally composed all of the music that is in that video to sound similar, but not enough so that you would get a copyright strike. So that is all composed music just for that video. to sound like Tangerine Dream's score, but it's just adjacent to it, if that makes sense. So it's sort of pitched a little differently and kind of goes different melodic places. So if you aren't familiar with the movie, that probably wouldn't jump out at you, but it was a tremendous amount of work. So yeah, that's all.
I'm going to catch it right now. Guys, I'm going to love and leave you all. The format looks better with 9 screens on it anyways, so I'll take the hit. Thank you all. Thank you for inviting G.I. Joeberg, and thank you everyone who participated in this, viewers especially. I mean, this has been incredible. So thank you to each and every one of your patrons. They were the backbone of this amazing event. Ciao.
And Steve,
Bye,
going to the post office
Tony,
tomorrow.
bye-bye.
I'm going to the post office tomorrow.
Tony, thank you. Look, I mean, that was very cheeky of me, but
you're welcome. You're welcome.
You know the feeling, right?
Yeah.
To complete that toy. Thank you. You can explain to everyone while I'm away if anyone's interested. Later, guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. So let's see. Who
Dean. We got to talk to Dean.
Dean,
right,
what was your favorite?
This will be my last
yeah
participation because I have to go quite soon.
Sure.
And as I alluded to already, I'm well into a big barbecue. So what I say now might make no sense.
That's great.
I will try my damnedest to make it coherent, but I hear sniggering.
That's Tim. You are entertaining Tim. He loves you. He's just enjoying your talk.
Let's all laugh at the drunk Scotsman. Okay, I get it.
I just appreciate the fact you're living up to my stereotype. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm very happy to do it. Anyway, as I said earlier, I want to say a big thank you to Tony, Melinda, Retro Blasting, 2 Cents Toys. This whole thing was just beyond amazing. And in terms of my channel, I'm small fry, but because of the exposure, I have gained a ton of subscribers. And all I can say is thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome, man.
Oh, absolutely. Welcome. And Melinda, that metals panel was beyond amazing. I love that.
You. I'm glad.
Well, you should have heard Melinda after she got done with that. She was like, she said, I think it was Dean, Alex, or something like that.
Yeah. I was like, Dean and Alex have my back, man. They were like, not that you didn't, Sal, but I was like, they were like with me back in the day. Like,
oh yeah,
us old folks got to stick together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, not to get too soppy, but I can say hand in heart, and the heart is here somewhere. I guess it's this area here. I can say this time last year, I had no one I could talk to with regards to things that I enjoyed from the 80s.
Yeah.
Fast forward 12 months, I have a whole world who share my opinions, and believe it or not, people actually enjoy my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, wow, people enjoy what I say. What the hell is that? But anyway, again, going back to the beginning where I said to Michael and Tony on our first ever Skype chat, I said, oh my God, I watched your guys' videos and you reached out to me. I'm like, what the hell is that? So here we are. Like maybe 6 months later, sharing a virtual convention. I'm like, this could not go any better if I'd planned it. So
yeah.
All I can say is thank you so much, but I want to say special thank you to Timothy Ward and Scuba Pete, who are the moderators on my channel's live streams. I'm assuming nothing went untoward, but if it did, it never got through, thanks to those guys.
That's right.
Yeah, they're good.
And
good.
All I can say is, once again, thank you to everybody who welcomed me with open arms and possibly open legs. Who knows?
Well, we can definitely say open bears. I mean,
very nice.
Open beers, absolutely, yeah. And once again,
kind of convention.
This whole community, because bearing in mind, it's a very niche community, because for me, it's all about the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be born in a certain time frame to enjoy the same memories that I enjoy. But thankfully, I've encountered a bunch of like-minded people who have the same memories, have the same passion, and I am forever thankful for finding this, because without this, I would be in a very, very dark place. So to all of you guys watching, to all of you guys on the stream, thank you so much.
I think that deserves a round of applause.
Oh, thank you.
And before you go, I'm going to read you this comment. The Dragon
Yes.
Reborn says, I think Dean is great. If I drank 18 beers, I'd be shadowboxing in the corner by now.
All right. So once
Is that
again,
Randolph Thor?
no. So honestly, I have to join this family barbecue. But I just want to say once again, thank you to each and every one of you, and especially to Melinda, Tony, and 2 Cent Toys for putting this whole thing together. It brought us all together. We had an amazing time. I sure did. Hope you did. And thank you so much.
See you, Dean. Have fun.
Thank you. Good night, all. Good night.
Bye.
I wanted him to say it.
That's okay.
That just became the new highlight of Iconicon for me.
It is.
I mean, that was brilliant. That's all I'm
most
going to
amazing
say.
thing is he may not remember it tomorrow. And if he goes back and watches it, he could just be like, wow.
I don't think he said anything embarrassing.
He didn't.
He's fine.
No,
Oh, no.
he just
It was
did
awesome.
that,
Didn't.
like,
It was
I love you,
hilarious.
man. I love you, man. That's good. God bless him. Sal, what was your favorite highlight of the con that you've been able to watch anyway?
Well, first off, that's for you, Dante. You said you wanted Bella's toy chest to be here, so I thought you'd like to see some plastic anyway.
Told you, shh. My fiance
Yeah,
can't.
I'm good at just pulling the pin and
Sick
dropping
burn,
that
bro.
grenade.
Sick burn.
So I really enjoyed the Holy Trinity, as I've been calling it. I was really looking forward to that. But today, I'm going to get sappy for a moment. So
Yay.
with all the meetings that we've been doing for what feels like the last year leading up to this, and just the way that we all talk about the community, I think today, with just the generosity that our community showed, it really just kind of put our money where our mouth is, literally, and it showed that we are the best community and the most giving community. And I don't know, it was really nice to see that kind of unfold. So
Yeah,
I think
I
that was my
agree.
favorite part.
Yeah, that trivia thing really blew me away. Like I figured people would be generous, but I didn't realize how generous
Right.
they would be. So that's
Yes, it was wonderful.
I got to crunch those numbers and figure out the exact amount and sort of get that check written out. But,
Oh my.
But yeah.
What did you think, Dante? What did you get to catch any of the stuff that because you were in a lot of things? So I, like myself, you might not have been able to catch much that you weren't in.
I caught I did try to catch the one that I really wanted to see the most, and that was The Last Starfighter.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
What'd you think?
I loved it. It was excellent. I enjoyed
Thank you.
every minute of it. But to kind of echo off of Sal said, this was amazing for us, and for me. This is something that I never, ever that I've dreamed of would be part of, and it was fun. And I appreciate you all inviting us to be part of it. And it's just I'm not going. I'm getting that warm feeling inside, and that if I could cry, tears be right here. I have my ducks fixed. But honestly, thank you all for inviting us. It was so much fun. Thank you, Melinda. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Sal. Thank you, each and everyone who participated. It was so much fun, and I enjoyed every minute of it, even though they didn't come to see me. But that's cool. That's cool.
I'm just glad to hear that it's actually kind of breaking the algorithm a little bit and giving everybody exposure. Because Tony and I, Tony, Sal, and I talk almost every day, and I came up with this harebrained scheme several months ago, or maybe it was last year. I can't remember now. I said, Tony, how about I do a Star Wars Follies with Sal and you, but we put it on Analog Toys and see if it confuses the hell out of YouTube's algorithm, and then see what happens. And that video did respectably well. And then Tony and Melinda are like, you know what we could do now? And I'm like, what? And then they're like, boom! And I'm just like, okay. So,
I'm sorry. I do have one quick request. I want to debate Matt again. I think I just want to debate Matt again.
I welcome that,
I felt the quickening in my hand at that point in time. I was like, I have it here.
Yeah.
So what the
You did a really good job.
debate about?
I would welcome that any day, good sir.
All right.
Now, Dante, to your credit about people not wanting to come to see you, it is very difficult to compete with Laser Kitty.
You're right. See it? No, that's what I'm saying. Like, nobody comes see the host. Everybody comes see the co-host. Like, okay, let's go. I'm just a side guy. I'm the guy in the alley, just sitting there, just like, well, guess my job here is done. I guess I'm kicked off the show.
Vinkman says, meanwhile, Aaron, the Aaronest Aaron that ever Aaron, just wishes he had a pizza. Don't we all?
Same.
I mean, it would be nice to have a meal, but
Well, all I can say is the fact that my super chat actually gave me the opportunity for exactly 5.5 seconds to woo both Kelly and Catherine.
yeah, that's true.
You know, was my highlight, and I'll take care of any of their future needs that they have in regards to Iconicon. So
Yeah.
it'll be tough, but I'm willing to take one for the team.
Well, Tim's been taking one for the team this whole time because he's been over here, like, not just during the convention, every single day, the whole day till really late, but also in many of the days leading up to the con while we were, like, setting up all the extra wiring and cables and backup cables and, you know, hardwiring stuff to the router, just all this extra stuff we tried to put in place that for the most part, except for one moment, worked really well. And we didn't have any issues except for one, but you know.
Well, thank you.
It's good. And, you know, I think that one of the things that I know that we're going to do, and I don't know, you're all welcome to participate if you'd like, but I definitely want to have a sort of a post-mortem after a little bit of time has passed and we've all slept a little bit more.
I'd say a month.
Maybe a couple of weeks anyway. And we sort of sit down and go, you know, what could have been better? What went really well? What do we want more of? And like, how can we sort of tweak any of the issues that we saw, even if they weren't really bad, like just ways to improve. Because this is the first time we've done this. So, you know, I think it's a great opportunity to see like our viewership levels and, you know, and we have a good baseline now. So it's very likely that we'll try to sort of do this again. Although I know a few weeks ago, Tony, you were like, what are we doing here? Why?
I very much was. And I just want to point out someone in the chat just before said he's really looking forward to seeing Bionic 6 Part 2 in Iconicon 2027.
You're clever, sir.
Nice.
Very clever.
Nice.
Tom, were you able to catch any of the?
Yeah.
Okay. What was the highlight for you from something you weren't in?
Superman cake.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
No, yeah, I did like that. That was fun. But no, like I really enjoyed the Stallone versus Schwarzenegger one. I thought really kind of captured a lot of what this whole thing, because it was a lot of fun to listen to everybody talk about it, and that one's one that stuck out to me that I did get to actually watch. But yeah, I can't wait to go back and watch some of the other ones. I really want to get to watch the 80s horror icon one. That was one I was really interested in. So
yeah, we didn't have headphones set up for a while on one of the computers. We couldn't get to it. So the Sly versus Stallone, when I was down here just sitting in silence in case there was a technical issue, and I didn't get to hear any of it. So I have to go back.
He just heard me talking.
Right, I just heard her talking. I had no idea what was going on. So I have to go back and watch that one.
You didn't hear any of it, so you didn't discover that Bobby Valor thinks Conan the Destroyer is better than Conan the Barbarian.
Now I have beef with Bobby Valor then.
Holy
Now, To be fair, and that's a phrase I know Michael hates.
Only when it comes to corporate products and buyers saying to be fair to corporations. You're fine, sir. Continue.
Bobby also thinks Serpentor is a good villain. All right.
Okay, I will die on that hill with him.
Now, in contrast, we have that, but Tim also thinks Star Trek 4 is a good movie. So
well, and clearly, Sal, I proved that in the votes that I was.
Now, I have a theory about that, because you'll notice, believe it or not, Michael, my vote was the one that made it a tie for your thing, because I voted for you. I think people just wanted to vote for that. They weren't voting for the person. They were just like, "Oh, I like that movie." Click.
Right.
Because every movie that won was the pro side.
Yeah,
that's true.
Now,
so one thing that I would say is next time, if we do a panel like that, I'm going to change the format a little bit, and each person will not be arguing against another person, but they will just be talking about either everyone's talking about why a bad movie is great, or everyone's talking about why a great movie is bad.
What were you going to say, Sal?
What he was going to say is that that's probably true about every other movie but Star Trek 4, because it is in fact a good movie.
You're not far off. Tim will tell you, because I told him this off air. I actually I didn't hate Star Trek 4. I was like, oh, this is okay, but I chose the side I chose and had to die on that hill. So
yeah,
but we talked about it, Sal,
We
and there was an opportunity to pick a different movie, and I could have argued against, and you could have argued for. So I mean,
I might have pushed it in that direction because I just wanted to see Tim argue for Star Trek.
So, for those that don't know, originally I was supposed to debate Gremlins with Ryan.
That's true.
And
it was going to be Gremlins, and it was going to be great because I love those little guys.
Yeah, and I was going to be on the pro side of Gremlins. So, but not making excuses, just a little behind the magic.
Little insider information for all of y'all.
You sound hurt, Sal. I'm sorry. You sound hurt.
Oh no, I've been called worse by better, sir. I love you, Tim.
But you'll never deserve better.
Oh. Harsh. As someone who cuts deep, I appreciate that.
We have not yet asked Aaron.
That's true. Aaron, what was your favorite? Was it our podcast, Aaron?
Our podcast was hard to compete with. Both appearances, both on our own podcast. We were guests on our own podcast, and then we guested with Movie Oubliette. Those were fantastic, but I do have to say I was drawn into and couldn't tear myself away from the James Bond panel. Like Tim, I was sitting there aching to have been a part of it. I felt like all the arguments were interesting, and I heard things about Roger Moore that made me think, that is a reason to like his portrayal. And I heard things about Timothy Dalton that I already knew and agreed with about his superior portrayal as James Bond. But I will say that it brought more appreciation for Roger Moore, and that was something that I didn't have before I watched that. So I appreciated it for that.
Really? So you want him running down the dock saying, "Get out of the way! I'm carrying a bomb."
I don't know where you get that.
You don't know. You just want him.
I remember that from a Batman movie. I don't remember that from a James Bond movie.
That would be
sir, I understand your confusion, but
I guess I'm just confused because I thought Dante was on the pro Moore side, but he also didn't like Dalton. But you also saying you probably shouldn't want more of Moore either. More of Moore.
No, because he got
more
crazy
Moore.
It's like,
So I think does he like
if
Moore better than Dalton?
You guys know that I read the books recently, and I've been thinking a lot about James Bond in terms of the books. But when you look at Roger Moore, you're getting a lot more of you okay there, Ed? I thought you hit yourself, but I could see one of my eye. It was very awkward. But I think that there is some of that silliness. I think Roger Moore brought it out a little bit more, and so it was just sort of like, oh yeah, that is James. It's just sort of a slightly different angle of James. Anyway, now we're doing the panel that I wanted to be a part of with Tim. So,
but I am confused. So Dante, you are a fan of Moore, more than Dalton, right?
Leave Dante alone.
No, I'm not trying to badger him.
He does this. No, Dante. He does this exact thing to me.
And I have an answer for it. I have an answer for it.
Muting.
Early Roger Moore, I'm fine with.
Okay.
Later Roger Moore, I'm not that cool with.
I figured that was the case, but I just wanted to make sure for the final record.
But you all have pushed me to a little bit more of to the other side now.
I just I'm so glad to finally be able to define this. It's like a Dante Moore beef stew.
Oh,
well, you know, my favorite Dalton Bond line is "Fuzza Fuzzerland." Oh wait, no, that was a different movie. I'm sorry, my bad. So sorry.
I'm sorry. What was your argument by saying that, Tim? I'm not following.
He's talking about the Rocketeer, where Timothy Dalton's the bad guy.
I mean, you know,
I'm Aaron over here looking like a Keanu Reeves. Like he's like, I'm about to take out everybody who does not like anybody. John Wick over here.
Yeah. John Wick in COVID lockdown.
Nice.
Oh my God.
Thank you. That was very kind, Dante.
When I see him, I'm like, that looks like, you know what? He looks like Keanu Reeves.
He gets that a lot, actually.
I'm convinced he's Japanese.
Matthew.
Matt, he heard us talking about James Bond. He's like, I gotta get on there.
That's true.
How are you, man?
Who else about the prequels during the Bond talk except for me? No.
I'm going to turn your volume up. One moment.
She is editing your mic settings.
Am I back?
There you go.
There you go.
You have been adjusted.
All right. Am I back?
You're back.
You're loud enough now. I can hear you.
Okay. I was going to say, who else but me would have brought up the prequels during the Bond discussion? I feel like that's why I had to be there.
Tim,
all right, Tim. Fair enough.
He brings up the prequels. If he gets a speeding ticket, he brings up the prequels.
I got to get you over on that movie 611, where we do nothing but love the prequels.
He wants you on Matt Movie 611.
I will go anytime. You just let me know.
Matthew, I would happily go discuss my love of the prequels with you.
Hey, Matthew, do you know what? Do you like the movie Tombstone?
Yes, it is my favorite Western of all time.
I know, because you have great taste. Do you know what? That's why you and I have such.
You're gonna go here.
I am.
Okay.
I want to know. I respect.
No, you're being used right now.
I respect Matt's. No, I respect Matt's opinions about movies, and I want to know. So Matt, if you were told by somebody that Tombstone felt like a Hallmark TV film, what would you say to that person?
Be careful, Matt.
I'm not setting him up.
Yes,
I'm telling truths here.
Yes,
this feels like entrapment.
I wouldn't say anything because I just shoot them immediately.
And that is why Matt and I are friends.
I'll be your Huckleberry. I'm your Huckleberry. I'm sorry, I did it wrong first time.
But if I had to say something, it would be a quote from Tombstone, which is, well, bye.
That's what I say every time the movie's on. Bye.
I'll be your Huckleberry.
You can look at me like that all you want to.
All night at dinner last night. This is all we heard. This is just this.
Don't fold your arms at me like that. What are you trying
Why
to
do
say?
you care if I fold my arms? They're tiny anyway. It doesn't matter.
How can anybody?
And they're off. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael's off. He's got an excellent argument. Tim's retort is very, very good. They're running the turret at the back of the field.
And this is why everyone in the restaurant
I don't really like that movie.
left last night. They were just like, we're leaving.
I don't really like that
There's a guy
movie.
driving around with the drum kit in the back of his car.
I don't like that movie, Star Wars. Feels
In
like an
Tim's
episode of Fraggle Rock.
What were you saying?
Just like Tombstone.
I have a friend I have a friend who once tried to tell me that Tombstone is the fast food of Western films.
Hey,
and,
you know what? That's a
I don't
smart
speak that
person.
person anymore. Tim, I'm going to tell you something. My grandfather, who was a World War II vet, he was classic generation, greatest generation, huge Western fan. He loves Tombstone, or he loved, I have to say, recipes, but he loved Tombstone, and he would know more about that than you, sir.
And that, okay. And okay.
I did like Tim a lot.
I think that invite is going to get lost in the mail, actually, Tim. I'm sorry. I think it's going to
So, Tom, did you have a favorite moment during Iconicon that you'd like to regale us
He
with?
initially said my baking video, so I got to
did
give him
like
props
that.
for that.
That was very good, and the cake was very
really
good.
wanted
as
a
well.
cake.
I actually forgot that I made that video until just when he said that.
Well, what I really like too is I made the crack about the Mandalorian, and Michael was literally the only one in the chat who laughed. It was kinda funny.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yep.
Speaking of Westerns.
Oh, don't.
Oh,
that's Lone Wolf and Cub meets a Western, meets
Boys,
everything else.
boys.
I don't hate it. I'm just saying.
And
Star
we're
Wars,
back, ladies and
Star
gentlemen.
Wars
Back
has
to
always
the Western
been
fight.
a suit. Star Wars is a space suit, is what it is. You can't sit there and say, "Oh no, I like Westerns because I like Star Wars." What?
Everybody, see this cool trophy? I think that now would be a great time for it to go to its final destination. Its new
Hey, everybody! Did you know I like Westerns because I like Firefly? Huh?
Well, that's a good point, actually.
I don't watch Westerns if they wear hats, but I watch them if there's a spaceship. Woo!
Well, look, Melinda, that trophy would be mine if I was able to be there to fight Mr. Mom. I would have won that. 100%.
That's true, Matthew, and that's a shame. Next year, if we do
I'll be
this, we'll make sure that that's the thing. But so Matt, congratulations, you're the best around. No one's ever going to keep you down. So there you go, man. Congrats.
Thank you very much.
Well earned. Like you really.
Well, I kind of had to win because I talked a lot of shit this week. So there was really no losing this. I did get a lot worried when Ryan pulled 4 of those answers out of his butt at the very end.
Ryan really.
Wow.
I mean, damn.
Yeah.
So you're saying there was no easy way out?
There was no easy way out.
There was no easy way out. No.
But I had thunder in my heart. So
every move was like lightning.
Yeah, that's the power you feel when you get your taste of the glory. No,
I'm so glad to hear it.
That feeling I'm feeling is the quickening.
The quackening? What?
Yeah, that was it. You're right. The quackening. The quackening.
He did miss the quackers question.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and if I'd have thought about that one, I probably would have been like, oh.
Those chips, they're called the quackers.
The quackening. What? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh no.
I need to bone up on my Dirty Dancing trivia.
Oh my.
But yeah, I would like to say that I can't wait to give this trophy away next year to some lucky pendejo.
Yeah, just some lucky.
Pendejo.
Trusting you with a very valuable.
There will be other competitions next year. I'm hoping that we'll get some more topics to talk about. Maybe like 80s westerns.
Nah.
So that I don't have to sit at this table with this Philistine anymore.
I want to see Matt Movies debate
what?
Tombstone with Tim.
Oh yeah.
I'm up for it.
That's
Bring
what I
it.
see.
Bring it. Bring it.
I
We
do
would
have a
to move
question.
to the 90s, which has.
I mean,
been
calling
discussed.
Tombstone a Hallmark movie.
Wasn't Jimmy Stewart in a Tombstone movie before? Really, like way back in the day?
What? Well, yeah, they all were. So you're calling it a Hallmark movie? That's just stupid. That's just stupid.
That actually moves into my question. If we do this next year, are we going to be moving into the 90s at all?
Well, that has definitely been proposed, and I'm not necessarily opposed to it. I guess we just.
I would love to do 90s next year.
I think it might be fun to do 90s next year. Yeah. So again,
Just saying.
You know why I think
if we do,
If we do 90s next year, I'm doing a Britpop panel. That's what I'm doing.
Dude, I'm going to do the best metal panel next year if we do 90s because all the best metal is in the 90s.
And I will rage about the SWAT Cats and Darkwing Duck toy lines because they were terrible and I hate them.
Now, Lio, Thomas,
Oh, man.
if we do the 90s, are you down for just total love fest for Beast Wars?
Yes.
How would you ever even think that should be a question you would ask me without knowing it? I have 4 different versions of Optimus Primal behind me right now. Are you kidding me?
I'm in between you two on my screen, and it's very uncomfortable right now.
I know Matt Swafford will be down for it.
Well, yeah, I'm going to quote Doc Holliday on that one from Tombstone, a wonderful movie. That is a hell of a thing for you to say to me.
I will tell you things about Beast Wars you have never known. Heck, I even showed Matt a toy he had never seen before a few months ago.
This is true. Yeah, I love Beast Wars though, so I'm 100% in for that.
I'll just sing Counting Crows songs to you all ad nauseum. Any different Counting Crows song, I will sing it to you, and you will enjoy it.
Or you're trapped in a car and you don't have any choice.
Mr. Jones.
Right.
That one?
I mean, talking about
Don't do
90s,
that.
I would love to do that.
No, hold on.
I'd love to do a sequel to the Sly Arnie, but do Van Damme and Seagal in the 90s. That'd be a fun panel.
Yes, please.
I was almost thinking Megadeth versus Metallica when you said the.
Oh well, Megadeth.
Hold on, I need
And-
to.
Oh, and I will
Michael-
totally have the Dominion War and all of that for
me. What
Star Trek?
I was saying, Michael,
What-
be on
what are
the
those?
Van Damme
Monkey.
panel just to talk about Street
Big
Fighter for
monkey.
Kylie, and then he could just leave.
Oh, sorry.
Uh-huh,
I was
yep.
too late on the draw, Thomas. Sorry.
Yep, I
Don't
would
worry
do
about
that.
Or I like somebody else's. Somebody had a good idea. X-Men versus Batman animated series.
I saw that. I was about to say
Yeah.
that, Dante.
Oh, my.
Put me on that panel. We got some action going on. There you go.
I feel like we are
I mean,
now in the planning
in the
process
90s,
of
it
next
counts.
month.
I'd have to do something about
It's like, I gotta go home.
I'm out.
We will be in
I'd
touch
have
with
to make a video about
everyone.
that.
You don't have to sit next to this Philistine anymore.
What everybody should do is write down your ideas.
Probably
Serious
garbage
talk.
from Tombstone.
Yeah, seriously, write down
No,
your
it's on your
ideas
earlobe.
and send them in to me to the Iconicon emails because,
You're the one who gave me the
I
crap
think
piece.
it's going to take us
they
a little
weren't crappy
time
till
before we
Aaron
can
started
really
using
think
them.
about it. But yeah, I mean,
Michael,
while these things are still fresh in your mind.
On
yeah.
Dreamland. You're doing Dreamland a lot.
I'm sorry. I didn't
All right, you guys are dreamlanding right now.
You are literally doing
Yeah,
it.
you guys
Say
are
goodbye to
dreaming.
Tim, everybody. Tim's
Bye,
got to
Bye,
Tim.
Tim.
Bye,
Drive
Tim.
safe.
Bye.
Tim.
I'll
Thanks
be right
for
back.
everything, Tim.
I'll be right back. No,
And we can actually, I mean, we don't have to keep going because I know everybody's really tired. You've all been doing streams for days and days, just like we have. But we did want to just sort of have like a thing for our patrons here. We've got, about 76 folks here hanging out with us. And, we've got all of you. And so I just wanted to, just sort of have the group hug and, thank you and all that stuff. I mean, I don't think I could say it any better than All Things 80 said it or anything.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Tony, do you have any parting words on Iconicon?
Yeah, so we've had a lot of guests on here who've, particularly today, who kind of popped in and out and have been thanking me and Melinda and 2 Cents Toys. I want to thank all of the guests because every single person brought their A game. You leveled up the content. Dante, your energy's amazing, bro. But absolutely everyone. I due to the time zones, I was kind of trying to get to bed at midnight and I was missing which was noon for you. So I was kind of missing everything from noon. So I've got weeks of amazing content ahead to watch. Lots of panels I only caught bits of, and I'm really looking forward to rewatching some panels. James Bond's the first one I want to watch, but just thanks to all the participants for, because in a way you did put your trust in us as an organizational team to put this together, and you came and you brought your A game, you leveled it up, and one person in the chat mentioned ages ago, has anything like this been attempted before? And I think it has, but no one's done it this well before. So
yeah.
I don't think so. I've done a lot of I've seen a lot of online conventions. Mostly they're just celebrity type panels. There's not as many fan panels, and certainly if there are, they're not as well done because they're not done by professional, what I call professional level YouTubers. But that's the thing, is a lot of conventions aren't set up to be virtual. So the people who run conventions who already only do some of the things well, and I'm not saying I did or that we did all the things well, but what I'm saying is I, at least, and we have been to enough conventions as content producers that we know what sucks is that you're going there and you're working for free to make this other person's event a success, and they don't promote you and they don't pay you and they don't really give any regard to you or communicate with you about what's happening or what the expectations are or what the situation you're about to walk into is. And so you're just kind of flying by the seat of your pants. It's very stressful and it's a lot of work. And for a lot of times, it's not a lot of payoff. And I really wanted it to be something that was like worthwhile for you to have done at the end. So it's like, it is a lot of work, even if it ends up sucking, it's still a lot of work, right? So if at the end of all of this, I wanted us to be sitting here at this moment saying, you know what? I worked my ass off and I didn't sleep for 5 days, but I have all this content that I produced with all these other people. And now I have this group, this community. And also I have a lot of content that I'm really proud of and have a bunch of new subscribers. So I don't regret spending the time and effort doing it. That's what I wanted. And it sounds like from what I've heard you guys saying that that's what you feel. So that's, to me, that's a win.
Great.
Yeah. Well, I feel like the best thing that we got out of all this is that now we have proof of our concept.
Yeah.
Like we have on paper that this works and that, you know, that we can bring in, you know, good guests, that we can bring in, you know, people that are more than just like, oh yeah, this guy drew a picture once and somebody saw it. I mean, we got really good guests. We got really good channels to participate. I don't know. I mean, I feel like we have the template now.
We've got the touch.
We've got the power.
Bow, bow.
We got the power.
I mean, just from my end, and I told Melinda
yes,
this
Matt.
last month. I mean, coming into this, I've little fish in big pond, but you guys have been so welcome ever since I joined and on the panels and what my Tron videos. So just thank you guys. This was an incredible experience for me.
Yeah, you're welcome, man.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. Yeah.
No channel that doesn't suck should be left behind.
That's right. That's right.
And that's for my part. I'm all these weekly meeting or bi-weekly meetings. I'm kind of like in the grand scheme of things, in terms of like my help and all I did, I'm kind of like the kid from Hamburger Helper, and I helped. But as they'll tell you, my catchphrase for every meeting was, "I'm just happy to be here." But now I'm glad I came.
Well, I'm glad you came too, Sal.
Yeah, you contributed more than you think you did, man. Like you really did. And so anyway, I don't know. I'm going to Disneyland. That's
okay.
Not really. I'm not, because
no, seriously, guys. Though, thank you for all of everything that you've done to make this a success. And you guys all know how to reach us. So if you need anything or you want to reach out and bounce an idea off of us about not just Iconicon, but you know, any future collaborations or anything like that, the door is open. You just let us know what your ideas and thoughts are, and we'll work with you as we always do. We'll all work together to make something happen. So just let us know.
And one last thing, I want to thank all of you patrons who turned up for like 90+% of the content. Yep. Like, I don't know how you guys, I guess some of you took weeks off of work and did this, but I saw a lot of the same people in every single, because I tried to log in at least and have it in the background and as many panels as I was awake for. And I would see you guys in there watching and supporting all these channels. And that really means a lot too. So thank you for supporting everybody here and getting the word out and doing all that. So
yeah,
I would like to give Desert Rat the last word on Iconicon.
Amen.
Here's an idea. Let's go get some sleep.
Yes, I love that idea. All right. Thanks, everybody. We love you.
Good night and good luck.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
A lot of fun. Thanks, guys.
Onward and upward.